In Kubernetes, there is a concept of runtime class that lets you target specific container runtimes within your Kubernetes cluster. Now, you might be wondering why you would actually need different runtimes for different workloads. So, there are different container runtimes for specific reasons, like for more isolation or for running WebAssembly workloads and so on. Let me give you a high level overview of what happens when you actually run a container. So when you create a Kubernetes manifest YAML file and you schedule it, so the scheduler schedule it on a node and then it runs, and there is a component called container D which is running on all the nodes. So container D is the high level runtime. Now the request goes to the low level runtime and there is a component called shim. So shim is in between the high level container runtime and the low level container runtime. So low level container runtime, which you can see on the screen like runc, is there that will be actually running the workload. But you can swap the shims. So this makes the whole approach more modular and flexible so that you can target different container runtimes. So you can have container D and you can swap the shim. For example, there is a project called runwasi shim that lets you run WebAssembly workloads. So if you have the WebAssembly runtime and the shim, then you will be able to target that using the runtime class. So this is the need for the runtime class, and it is very important from Kubernetes CKS perspective as well. And I just wanted to highlight why you would actually use a runtime class, because it's more, the concept is more important than the actual scenario that we'll be using. So let's actually do some scenario. My favorite one of actually running this WebAssembly workload alongside Kubernetes. So let's say I have a Kubernetes playground. So this is Ximius Labs. If you find it hard to pronounce, just IX Labs. So IX Labs, I'll put the link in the description of the video. You can use that. So this is the Kubernetes playground. If I do kubectl get nodes, I have a 3-node cluster which is running. Now, if I do kubectl run demo -- image equal to nginx, kubectl get pods, I have a pod which is running. So this is the standard flow. Now, this is the Linux container that is running and it is using the default runtime class. Now, how do I see the runtime class? So you can go here and you can see cat/etc container d config.toml file. And here we can actually see different plugins. So we can see that we have the container d runtimes runc. So here right now, if we see in the diagram as well, runc is running the container. Pretty simple, pretty standard. So runc is running the container. Now what we can do is we can have another plugin over here. So we can have a different plugin over here. We can then create something which is called a runtime class, and we can specify how a pod should be able to use that runtime class. Now, this is the scenario. So let's first do it and we'll do another separate scenario based on this. So for our example, what we'll do is like, we can do spin scaffolding and installation, but we'll just simply first install cert manager. I want to show you what all things happen and how things get, things work out. So this is simple cert manager installation. This is WASM. So what it is actually doing is it is configuring and installing the shim and also updating the container d config.toml. So now if I do a cat again, I will be able to see another entry over here. Now this shows that there is a new container d runtime spin. Now this is the handler. So this is the handler. And runtime type, I give the location. And if I do ls of this, I'll be able to see that this is already there. How it came, it is all because of this kwasm, which is there as an operator. So kwasm operator is installed. It is watching the annotation. So I added the annotations, and as soon as it sees the annotation, it installs and configures the node. In the end, what it is doing is it is downloading the container d runwasi shim, spin shim. So getting those shim and getting them added to the container d config.toml file, restarting container d and all sorts of stuff. So that's what it is doing. Now we can run the WebAssembly workloads and target this particular handler. But for that, first we need a runtime class. Now with Spin, there are different things, and without Spin also you can do that. But let's do it with Spin itself. So we'll install a CRD, Spin CRD, and the runtime class. And then we will be installing the Spin operator as well. Now I want to show you how the runtime class looks like. Now this is how a sample runtime class looks like, where we specify the name and we specify the handler. The handler has to match what I showed you in the config.toml file, which is Spin. So now let's go back, kubectl get runtime class. We'll be able to see that we have a WASM time Spin v2 runtime class with the Spin as handler. Let's now install the operator. I mean, right now we can just have a WebAssembly pod. If there is a WebAssembly pod, we can actually get that from kwasm.sh and go to the quick start and try this vi demo.yaml and give the name as spin v2 for the runtime class. That's how you specify in your pod manifest. So basically, if you want to run a pod and specify a specific runtime class that it has to target after getting it scheduled on a particular node, then you specify in the spec section runtime class name. And this is something you need to remember. kubectl apply -f demo, kubectl get pods, and you can see that the pod is container creating and running. Let's port forward that. Let's open another dev machine and we can do a curl of that. There we go. Hello from Spin. Let's also complete this particular demo. We need a shim executor. And in the end, we just need to specify a sample YAML file. Now, this particular sample is not a regular Kubernetes object because it is a Spin app, which is why we have a Spin operator. Spin operator, we check whether the Spin app is there. It will automatically create a deployment service, all those things for you. And if we see now curl 8083, we'll see hello world from Spin again. So it automatically created kubectl get deploy. You can see that it was created simple Spin app and -o YAML of simple Spin app, and we'll be able to see the runtime class over here specified. It automatically created the deployment and a service. So spinkube is basically making the scaffolding and running of WebAssembly applications on Kubernetes easier. But the whole point of this particular video is to make you understand that how you can actually use and why you should use runtime class. So Kubernetes runtime class, specify the handler, and then the handler should be present in the config.toml file, and there should be a shim to make sure it works. So you can use Kata containers, you can use gvisor, all those things in the similar way. Now let's take another example where we are not doing anything and do very simply like we create a new runtime class and then how to assign a pod to that. It's just another variant of what I just explained. So this is the runtime class. So API version, node k8s IOV1, kind runtime. We give it a name and a handler. And we already know, we saw that in the config.toml file, that runc is already present over here. So kubectl apply -f runtime class. Demo is created, kubectl get runtime class. It is available over here. Now let's take a pod. In the pod, it's just simple Nginx pod. where we have specified the runtime class name as demo, which we have specified in the runtime class. So kubectl apply -f pod, kubectl get pods, and we are seeing that the test is getting created. Kubectl get pod test -o YAML grep runtime, and we'll be able to see the runtime class as dem. So this is how you can create runtime class. You can specify a specific runtime class, assign a specific runtime class to a pod, and also you now know why you need it, because the whole WebAssembly ecosystem, how to run WebAssembly workloads on Kubernetes, is based on the runtime class. And then you can have different isolations, different container runtimes. You can specify that based on the runtime class. So this is the concept of runtime class, important from CKS perspective. Let me know in the comment section if you like the video and you understood the concept of why the runtime class is needed, just uh, rather than just simply how to use it. I hope the video was useful. If yes, then please share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe for the latest updates on the Kubernetes CKS certification, where I'll be covering the latest CKS exam. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.